a cheering crowd, a royal couple in an open car, and a driver who didn't know he was about to change history. On June 28, 1914, in the city of Sarajevo, a single wrong turn placed a prince face-to-face with an assassin. 2 bullets were fired, and within weeks the entire world was at war. How could one small mistake lead to the deaths of more than 40 million people, the collapse of empires, and the birth of modern warfare? This is the unbelievable story of how a wrong turn started the First World War. At the start of the 20th century, Europe was a very different place. Large empires stretched across the continent. The Austro-Hungarian Empire ruled Central Europe. To the east, the massive Russian Empire controlled huge lands. The Ottoman Empire still held parts of the Middle East and the Balkans. But beneath these powerful empires, tensions were rising. Bosnia and Herzegovina had been taken over by Austria-Hungary in 1908, and many of the people there, mostly Slavs, were unhappy. They felt more connected to their neighbors in Serbia, who shared the same Slavic culture and language. Austria-Hungary, however, had bigger plans. It wanted to expand further, absorb Serbia, and grow its empire. For the local Slavic people, this was unacceptable. Their dream was the opposite, to form their own united country, sometimes called Greater Serbia or Yugoslavia. This clash of visions, empire versus independence, was like dry wood waiting for a spark. As anger grew, secret groups began to form. Some of them organized protests, but others believed only violence could bring change. Among these was a group called the Black Hand. Their mission was clear: fight Austria-Hungary and unite the Slavic people. The Black Hand was more than just angry men. They were organized, disciplined, and willing to kill for their dream. Members were taught to keep secrets and to sacrifice their lives if necessary. One young man drawn to this cause was Gavrilo Princip, a 19-year-old who believed passionately in freedom for his people. Princip was thin, poor, and often sick, but he had one thing: determination. He joined the Black Hand, ready to give his life for the dream of Yugoslavia. In 1914, news spread that Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, would visit Bosnia. He was the man destined to become emperor, and many believed he was the one who would finally crush Serbia. For the Black Hand, this visit was an opportunity they could not miss. If they could kill the Archduke, maybe Austria-Hungary's plans to dominate Serbia would collapse. The plan was set. Several assassins would position themselves along the Archduke's route through Sarajevo. When his open car passed, one would strike with a bomb or a pistol, then take poison to hide the group's involvement. It was a bold and dangerous plan, but they believed history was on their side. On the morning of June 28, 1914, the streets of Sarajevo were crowded with cheering people. Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie smiled and waved as their car drove by. But hidden among the crowd were young men with deadly intentions. The first assassin froze. He saw the Archduke, but fear stopped him from acting. The car passed unharmed. The second assassin also failed, paralyzed by nerves. The third finally acted. He threw a grenade, but his aim was poor. The bomb bounced off the Archduke's car and exploded near another vehicle, injuring 20 people but leaving the Archduke and Sophie completely unharmed. The attacker quickly swallowed his poison, but it was old and ineffective. Instead of dying, he simply vomited. He then leapt into the nearby river, but it was shallow, barely knee-deep. The police pulled him out easily and arrested him. For the assassins, it seemed like a total failure. The Archduke was alive. The plot had collapsed, or so everyone thought. After the bombing, the Archduke decided to visit the hospital to see the people injured in the attack. His route was changed, but here's where fate intervened. The driver was not told about the new plan. As the royal car moved through the city, the driver made a wrong turn into a narrow street. By pure coincidence, standing there at that very spot was Gavrilo Princip, the 19-year-old assassin who had failed earlier. The driver realized the mistake and tried to reverse, but the car slowed down. For Princip, this was the perfect chance. He stepped forward, pulled out his pistol, and fired 2 shots. The bullets struck the Archduke and his wife Sophie. Within minutes, they were dead. The assassination shocked the world. Austria-Hungary's leaders were furious. They blamed Serbia for the attack and declared war. Russia, Serbia's ally, prepared to defend it. Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia. France, tied to Russia, entered the conflict. Britain soon joined France. The Ottoman Empire sided with Germany, while Japan and later the United States entered the war as well. In just a few weeks, a local assassination had turned into a global conflict. World War I. The war was unlike anything the world had ever seen. New weapons, machine guns, tanks, poison gas, turned battlefields into slaughterhouses. Entire cities were destroyed. Young men were sent to the front lines by the millions, and millions never returned. By the time the war ended in 1918, more than 40 million people were dead, soldiers and civilians alike. Empires collapsed, economies crumbled, and families were torn apart. And as soldiers returned home, they carried with them diseases. One of them, the Spanish flu, spread worldwide and killed more than 50 million people. The death toll of war was followed by the death toll of disease. All of this, decades of suffering, millions of lives lost, can be traced back to that one wrong turn in Sarajevo. Here's something curious. The war officially ended on November 11, 1918. That's November 11, 18. And strangely, the license plate of the Archduke's car was A111118. Was this just a coincidence? Or is history full of mysterious patterns we'll never fully understand? One wrong turn, 2 bullets, and the world was never the same. World War I reshaped nations, redrew borders, and changed the course of history forever. It showed how a single event, even a small mistake, can spiral into consequences far beyond imagination. So here's the question. If the driver had taken the right road that day, would the world still have gone to war? Or was the conflict already unavoidable? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more history brought to life.